Welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, where the last time court and this time court. I'm good at this intro thing.
More court.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian... No way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews.
She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her.
So, after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time.
See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her?
Yeah, I'm gonna yawn, don't mind me. Yes, yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today.
Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Yeah, I was shooting for a complete acquittal. If you missed that part. Dumbass.
Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impacts suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it
is Juan Carita, the victim of this murder.
And that... Hello, my eyes? And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts.
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship.
Son of a bitch.
Needs more fruit baskets.
Lots of fruit baskets.
Don't let your guard down yet.
And I'll bill his office for all of them.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Engard. Matt.
It's at Engard.
At Engard.
At Engard.
That would be his Twitter handle.
Hashtag not guilty, dude.
Shit.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. And would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No. I have no idea what you mean. I have never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was saying, Mr. Kurita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was Brian bait matter. So this is a Brian bait matter. Was it bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Bait and switch.
Oh.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrew.
Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court. About what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. Shocked, I say. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Really?
Just casually, you know?
He's like a fucking miserable idea to me.
You poured yourself a glass of juice.
I was thirsty. Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yeah, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it.
There's one thing I can do. It's inconsistently think.
The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand?
Yes, ma'am. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Did she say press everything? I heard press everything.
I heard press everything.
Yeah, press everything.
Press everything. And what was Mr. Engard doing at the time?
He was taking a nap. ZZZZ. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. Engard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could... Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me? It? What are you...
Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence.
With all due respect, I learned nothing in school. Wait, I didn't... shit.
If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch.
No, it's...
Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Engard's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue.
I'll have you know I skipped basic grammar many times. Wait. Shit! Hold it! And why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes.
Nyathera. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon. What are you implying?
You did just admit to seeing him.
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim?
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at the time.
Can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess.
May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room?
You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Sanders is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
Come on, man! I've been awake for like 15 minutes, leave me alone. This is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like this too?
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then, what did you do next, witness?
Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. Because, you know, I was thirsty.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
I had a sip. Huh?
There were no lip marks left on the wine glass. There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today?
Only in court, and the rest of the day. Yes.
I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime.
Yes,
Bless
I poured
you.
a glass of juice.
What a mistake. I hate juice. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
But flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shard.
It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
That's kind of the problem here, actually.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell into the guitar case.
But the guitar case was open.
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to...
Keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. Yeah, okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I like my pink book.
It's very
And
nice.
the card.
Go onto the guitar case. If it was open, then there should be shards in the case.
Shards in the case.
Fuck it.
Yeah, because in the photo, the thing's open.
Yep.
Yep.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case is wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. Vase case, ha. However, that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
Because it was open the whole time.
Yep.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there was one other strange thing about this guitar case.
What is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
And
what's wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case.
Ah!
What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
Except that it implies that she may have touched more in the scene and was lying about it. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it?
It seems that there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the case? Yes.
Yeah.
Make her go.
The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But it is you.
Can't believe I'm doing this either.
All right. I'll follow along. for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. It's a case for a guitar.
You put a guitar in it, and then you close it, and you carry it. Easy.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. Colonel.
Damn it, Colonel, we're in the middle of court.
Colonel, bad time.
It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting.
Me.
Enjoy your fruit basket, edgy boy.
Like double the bananas, peaches.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start cross-examination.
Using any way to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Damn it. No, did anyone say press?
Press the information.
During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see,
Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case?
she's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
Sounds like her dependent side is taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me.
So, you opened the guitar case then?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case.
As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed.
But not dazed enough to not open a guitar case?
Or pour juice?
Juice?
Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was all right or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back on topic, it's not a big deal. So shut up.
No, you shut up! Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism.
I don't know, man, I kinda lost track. The last couple of years have been a daze.
The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention.
Yeah, but then I would lose. I mean, I didn't say that.
Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry.
Even I don't know.
Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now.
I wasn't planning on letting up, but...
She's at her weakest now, so this is our chance.
Oh!
What?
That's my alarm.
Oh.
That was my wake the fuck up alarm.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Did you read this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard noise. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
I'm just looking. I don't know!
Even
So-
I don't know.
Literally, like, I can't remember there being a piece of evidence, and I can't think of one that we have, but this is like I'm doing the Mia thing of turn the thinking around, and is like, is there a way that you can prove that there's a problem with her having opened the guitar case after knocking the vase over?
Let's take a look at the crime scene.
Well, yeah,
photo.
look at the. Yeah, I don't know where. What does it say about the guitar case itself? Because that's part of our evidence too.
It doesn't have her fingerprints on it.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah. It only has Karina's.
There's no way you were the one who. What is this gonna prove? Just gonna put us back at square
That she's
one.
lying?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints in this guitar case are those of the victim.
Oh.
Oh.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I wanted to touch the... Wait.
What the fuck?
What?
I'm reading too fast. Okay.
No, not you, her.
No, her. Is it that I
You shouldn't
must have
assume that I must have
because
left prints just because I touched the case.
Hello?
If you
Hello,
touch the case, you
yes?
leave fingerprints.
fingerprints? This is pretty. Yeah.
What am I doing now? What?
I don't
I don't know what you're doing.
Did I do that?
You
Oh, I
opened
did.
it.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't even hit the button. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? Well, why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
Bull crap.
Fucking nonsense. Hello?
Oh, so was she saying she was dressed up as the samurai?
No, she touched the wine glass and it has her fingerprints
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
If she touched that, it has fingerprints, then the guitar case would have fingerprints.
yeah.
It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion.
I can thank Edgeworth for that one because I remember him being so smug about there being fingerprints on the wine glass that I'm like, I can't forget.
Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
Well, that's strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yup.
Mr.
The wine
Know-it-all lawyer?
Yes, I do. I have your proof right here. The wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Maybe I do know it all, eh? even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself the glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
My glasses broke.
What the holy shit,
It's
you
okay,
back up there. Jeez, that was fucking intense. Her glasses exploded.
Uh-huh.
Order! 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 Get this lady a new pair of glasses!
I have a spare, it's fine. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
The suicide note was in the guitar case. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case? Wait. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. Shit.
I admit it would be unusual for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case...
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. It's got my tongue all twisted. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided...
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean suggest that a black guitar?
So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, Wright?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Would I?
Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder?
Would you... Would it be the file that you need to present, or Celeste herself?
I don't know.
I want to point you to something that might give you a hint.
Sure.
Take a look at your far right photo. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Now think about the fact that this is a picture that exists.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that means she was dressed up as the samurai.
Well, no.
No.
Saying the camera was in the guitar case?
And remember that at the time, the dude was wearing his own costume while he was asleep, too.
Yeah.
Guy was wearing his costume, so she's still wearing the costume, so there's another costume.
What if it's not one of a kind?
Yeah, there's, well, an extra costume. Well, yeah, that actually makes sense. So,
I'm not sure I'm tracking enough to really know what to present here.
Do you have a photo of the? I think if I'm thinking about this correctly, you would just present the photo of the left photo.
This one?
Yeah.
This is a photograph.
Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor.
In the picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right. Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer, nice, photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this photo? Order! It looks like like we've under into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Thank the voices in my head. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Engard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places.
True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai's costume doing inside the guitar case?
So the idea is there was a spare, right?
What was the spare costume?
Mr. Engard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one.
What?
Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
At the Guitar Hotel.
At the Guitar Hotel.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose.
But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And therein lies the sticking point.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, Are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... the press conference? Maybe my thought. Maybe the reason Matt didn't actually know anything about the press conference was because he wasn't going to be the one who went out on stage.
Yeah, because...
He had a grand confession to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's-his-face didn't know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Ain't that some juicy gossip?
Ooh.
Juicy.
Well, what is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
Controller? Please. Be cool. What struck me as strange was that Mr. Edgard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself.
The victim?
Yes! The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Kurita was gonna hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He's going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wagered he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was gonna speak about Matt Engard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's public disclosure.
That's... what the fuck? Tomato, tomato, man. What are you talking about?
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Thank you?
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by one.
She knew.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I don't think so.
I don't feel like it.
I was the one
I
he
can still send you to prison.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him. That was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the Gem and Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway.
That's petty.
Yeah, it is.
He's going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
And do you know what the secret of Mr. Engard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
I don't believe you.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, I do believe you, I guess. I mean, I guess, I see, I mean... Andrews don't believe her either.
No one believes this bitch.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone,
Yes!
but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Dylan, protect Mr. Engard.
That doesn't make any sense.
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
I asked about this in the first one and all the more now. Has anyone ever heard of perjury?
No, we've well established that no one's heard of perjury at this point. Every case, people stand on the stand and lie. No one gives a shit about perjury.
Oh man, it's this music.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Even though I helped plan to bring him down. Question mark.
That does account for everything.
No.
Well, I am the logical type.
No.
Well, kinda.
We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault in his testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again.
Yeah, we accidentally presented motive again.
That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn our logic upside down. It's time to press. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own.
That feels like an insult.
If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things.
Please stand by.
Stare. Stare.
You need a pair of exploding glasses.
That's one thing.
Yes.
And then you need a pink book.
And dinner. That's the other thing you need.
And
You need
dinner.
You need
And
dinner. 3 things.
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. Decisive evidence. There we go.
3 things.
And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear.
These 3 things through sounds like a tongue twister.
Yeah. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
You think I remember law school? That's funny.
You should.
I don't, okay?
May I continue now?
Yes. So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Engard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. Duh.
But I'm sure Mr. Engard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Ms. Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright?
No.
That seems to be the Phoenix Wright style of style of defense. Just keep grasping at straws until you find one.
Has Mr. Engard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Kurita with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Engard, yet you still helped out.
The person on trial right now is Mr. Engard Wright. What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill.
Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Because the games are fun.
But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Engard was taking a nap in his room?
I lied.
I lied.
Are you telling me that now that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. Engard?
Yes, smiley face.
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. Smiley face. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. To help bring him down.
I keep trying, but I can't find. But I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom. However,
The judge is going straight at Mia. I don't know why I sounded so shocked.
He's glaring at you, smart guy.
aren't you supposed to be dead, madam? I prosecute, I resided over your murder trial.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene and that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Ugh.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
That's fine. I think that ship sailed anyways. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare? Yes.
You can't. It's my model. Let me monologue, Mia. Mia, please.
This is the second time she's been able to read your monologue.
Mia, I'm trying to reassure myself. You're supposed to reassure me, damn it.
I don't know if I'm barking up the right tree because I don't know how you prove that one. I don't remember everything with this case. But something about that strikes me as wrong. Why does the button have blood on it if it was ripped off while they were fighting?
That does, yeah. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt.
Oh, maybe that is it. Yeah.
How do you know that?
How do you know that? When the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Or so I heard.
I've heard that before, too. Why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail?
Because I ripped it off to you. Don't look at me like that just because I'm prepared and you are not.
And I thought I had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what?
Button.
Yeah,
Button.
Button. Button.
Button.
Button.
This nope.
Oh no.
This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction of that statement, Your Honor.
How exactly are the evidence and the statement just now related? This is literally the button that they are talking
They
about.
are they?
Not at all.
all.
Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusation.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
Penalty.
Penalty.
Let's take a look here.
Suffer. Suffer.
You suffer.
Oh.
You?
Yeah, we were on the right track, but we were presenting the wrong thing.
What do we present?
Oh.
Sir?
Just look
Okay.
at stuff.
Alright.
A knife? Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
I mean, I guess...
Have we yet to find a scarf in the entire room?
It's...
Wait, does he have
He's
it?
wearing it in the crime
one
scene photo.
on his neck
Okay.
there.
Ah.
The only thing I can think of offhand right now, though I'm not done looking, is if he was strangled with a scarf and that was the scuffle, then you present, that autopsy thing and,
Yes.
okay.
And if he was being suffocated, there wouldn't be the blood on it.
Well, he got stabbed afterwards. The idea is, if it has blood on it,
But if it came off during the fight, that would be before he was stabbed.
yes.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
is the victim's
no,
autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Well, let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. The button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body.
So it could be planted.
Ooh.
Order.
What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it?
Pin the crime. Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
To have a memento of the crime.
Of course, memento.
Memento.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There was no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Engard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
Oh, we went there.
Oh.
And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. Can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
It's really gonna make us do it.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Engard is... Miss Adrian Andrews. Just to make sure you're paying attention, the player, here you go. Who is it?
For the person in the back.
Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You are Mr. Karita's killer. That's a weird reference to make.
My glasses!
Oh, glasses.
You bastard!
You have another pair?
Order. Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
I have a tune amount. Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I just did.
No.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he'd already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion on the Mr. Engard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
My glasses again!
You need to
How
stop doing
many
that.
pairs do you have, lady?
Enough.
Then, enough. What about the button that was found in Matt's hakama?
We just talked about this. This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Engard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own hakama.
My glasses again.
You need to stop doing that, ma'am.
You're shattering her facade.
I get it. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Engard's hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The costume was used to... the costume was used to hide the real identity.
Damn, she's sexy though.
You don't need to worry about it. I was really hoping I muttered that quiet enough that nobody heard it.
I didn't hear it, but I kind of heard. I heard something, just like damn. I think.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
I said damn, and I was like, oh wait. The costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body.
My glasses!
And to top it all off, there's this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this is the Nickel Samurai. That this Nickel Samurai is Mr. Engard. He'd be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews?
Are you short or not?
Go on, how tall are you, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
They do that? What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness not to testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. That's not true.
No,
it's
not. I mean,
actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Engard's room.
Adrian
bitch,
Andrews.
That bitch! Bitch! Fuck you! Damn it! Fuck you! God damn it.
Yes. Think hard about what we just discussed.
Ow, my face!
Understood? All right.
And in a flashback, too!
How could she do that through a flashback?
Suffer.
In the middle of the courtroom, Phoenix is holding his head, screaming about Von Carbo whipping him. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
Actually, I just got whipped through time, man. Just give me a second.
what is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Oh, I got that. Don't worry. It's in my bag. Give me a second.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
Fifth.
I believe this may lead to me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
Naturally.
But, Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
But you can't administer that. That's
Yeah,
fucking-
I mean, yeah, you could say that, but legally you can't assume that.
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way.
And that's the truth. I mean...
Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
She's right. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again.
But she is right, though. She knows the law.
Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. Good job.
Good job, Phoenix. You fucked up again.
You're supposed to support me.
I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time.
Give me like
A certain kind of conclusion.
Yes, yeah.
Whoops. Okay.
Okay. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify.
Well, you're not wrong.
And the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do. And that is to declare a recess.
Oh, thank God. Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And that tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
Uh-huh.
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, and?
I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
So my actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in his testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
The term is frenemy. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
As awkward as a spot as this is to stop, this episode's almost an hour and 20 minutes long.
Oh.
Oh.
We're gonna go ahead and stop and come back in another episode for this testimony.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cliffhanger.